I was a television presenter with the BBC. There was a vibrational, energetic change coming, which was going to have two main effects. She says, I'm being told to tell you, you're going to go out on a world stage and reveal great secrets. Very strange things started to happen to me. Paranormal things. If you say what you know to be right, you go beyond this, you're going to get banned by YouTube. You're going to get banned by Facebook. Back in the 1980s, I was a television presenter with the BBC. I was a national spokesman for the British Green Party for a short time. And then very strange things started to happen to me. Paranormal things. And I ended up trying to work out what the heck was happening to me in a psychic's front room. Her name was Betty Shine, and I went to about 4 times. The first 2 times, not a lot happened. Third time, she starts going into psychic mode, and I'm going, you know what's going on? She said to me, this was March 1990. She says, I'm being told to tell you, you're going to go out on a world stage and reveal great secrets. One man cannot change the world, but one man can communicate the message that can change the world. And that you are going to face enormous opposition, but they will always be there to protect you. And lots of other things like that, all of which have come true. And that from this moment, you are going to be led to knowledge. And at other times, knowledge will be put into your mind. This is March 1990. And I'm like, something here, literally here, was saying, go with it, go with it. Other parts of me were going, what? From that moment, synchronistically, what people call coincidence, information has come into my life in various ways. People, documents, personal experience, books, all of it, which has been like some unknown, invisible force handing me pieces in a puzzle to put it together. And that's where the information's, come from in this incredibly synchronistic way. And what I was told at that time was that a transformation of human consciousness was coming. And I called, the first book I wrote on this, I called Truth Vibrations, because what I was told was that there was a vibrational, energetic change coming, which was going to have two main effects. One, it was going to wake people up from their coma that they'd been put in, an induced coma.
Only on becoming supernatural.
The most awake would be affected first, but eventually people then solid gold in coma were going to start to awaken, and they were going to start to see that the world, reality, who they were, is not who they thought it was. The other thing I was told would happen as a result of this truth vibration change, and this is why I called it Truth Vibrations, was that all that had been hidden from us was going to come to the surface where we could see it. And when I think back to the world of March 1990, there was absolutely no evidence that anyone was awakening to anything, and certainly not that all that had been hidden from us was coming to the surface. And now we look now. And I've watched over this 30 years, particularly over the last 10, even more over the last 5, more over the last 2, more and more people just looking with new eyes at the world, re-evaluating the world, asking questions they wouldn't have asked before. And what's happening in people, those people, is that their consciousness is shifting. It's starting to expand. And as it expands, it moves beyond the 5-sense prison. And it starts to access consciousness, awareness outside of this reality. And that can start to trigger intuitive knowing, a feeling that actually something's not right, or a feeling that what we're being told is not how it is. And people start to question. And when you question this system that we live in, it's found wanting immediately. It's the fact that people don't question it. It's its only way of survival. And I'm seeing this in more and more people. They are expanding their awareness and they're starting to see with new eyes. And the key is opening this, because this is our connection to that expanded state of consciousness. And when you open that, not only do you access intuitive inspiration and all that stuff, you lose
Only on becoming
the
supernatural.
fear that is the human prison. Because love does not fear. Love is the absence of fear, as evil is the absence of love. And so this gives you an extraordinary freedom where you just do what you know to be right, and you just say what you know to be right. So this would have said in the last few weeks, David, if you say what you know to be right, you go beyond this evil, you're going to get banned by YouTube. You're going to get banned by Facebook. And all the rest of them. This has a power of its own. And banned by Facebook, banned by YouTube, flies off an elephant's back to this. Because this is what's going to change the world. Because this, closing it, is what's got us into this mess. Because once you close that, and fear will close it, your perceptual point of observation goes here immediately, or here, emotion. And you become imprisoned in the bubble of the five senses. In the underground bases, what they call dumps, deep underground military bases, another absolutely beyond top secret research facilities, this technology that is necessary to totally entrap humanity through technology is being developed. And they are always vastly ahead of anything that's happening in the public arena. I mean, vastly ahead. This is why Aldous Huxley could describe things in 1932 with Brave New World that were not even possible then. This is why George Orwell could describe technology in 1984, published in 1948, like the telescreens in your home constantly filming you, which is what smart TVs do now, and these are only the early developments of the telescreens, the smart TVs. They were able to perceive these things because this technology is always well ahead outside the public arena than it is in the public arena. I've quoted people in my books, like a guy in 1969 at Rockefeller Insider, who described in great detail how the world was going to change, and he has been absolutely spot on in every single way in detail. And one of the things he said in 1969 is that he described the internet. He described the internet in 1969. It wasn't even discovered, we're told, until the 1980s, was it? But it's always long ahead of where we are in the public arena. Why? Because as the process unfolds of more and more sophisticated technology rolling out, like now at a vast rate of knots, to create this complete human control system, there are no gaps. Notice, there's no lag time, there's no gaps where people are sitting around strumming their fingers waiting for some geek in a garage to develop the next level of control. It just rolls out seamlessly. Why? Because it's been there, sitting there, to be rolled out, so it's seamless as it rolls out. This stream of movies, year after year after year after year, that are portraying the very dystopian machine-controlled society that they want to take us into. because it's called preemptive programming. What they're doing is systematically making us subconsciously, consciously too more and more, but subconsciously familiar with that world. So that as it comes in for real, it's less of a chasm, it's less of a shock. Now, because this technology ain't coming from geeks in garages, I mean, some of the peripheral stuff might, yes. I'm talking about the real control system stuff. It's coming out of underground military bases and other secret projects. They need a cover story and a cover people to explain where the hell it's coming from. And they play the role of fronting up different technologies coming out. I'm talking about the main technologies that are real vital to the control system. And acting as that front man or front woman makes them very rich. But this is the deal. You front up this particular technology rolling out as if it's, random, and you'll become very, very rich. But vast amounts of that wealth have to be spent on advancing the cult agenda in the name of philanthropy. This is why you get these heartless, psychopathic billionaires
only on becoming
setting
supernatural.
up foundations. Look, he's got a foundation he gives to charity. Well, just follow the frickin' charities and follow what they're doing. How intelligent do you have to be to make vast amounts of money if you know when the market's going up and you know when the market's going down? Because those making it go up and making it go down are telling you. You don't have to be intelligent at all. You make vast amounts of money. So Soros makes vast amounts of money. But this is the deal, you do that, but you need to spend massive amounts of it advancing the agenda. So he has this Open Society Foundation network, and the last time I looked, he'd already handed over to it $32 billion. This manipulates people's revolutions that aren't revolutions. It's massively involved in funding mass migration, which is another part of this agenda. He funds the whole woke political correctness and all this stuff. So that's his. And this is how it works.